If social media platforms were only allowed to promote organic content, the digital landscape would undergo a profound transformation, reshaping how information is consumed, shared, and valued. Without the influence of algorithms amplifying paid posts or sponsored content, the focus would shift back to authentic, user-generated material. Creators and brands would need to rely solely on the quality, relevance, and resonance of their posts to gain visibility, fostering a more level playing field. This could encourage more meaningful engagement as users interact with content that genuinely aligns with their interests, rather than being driven by targeted ads or algorithmic nudges. The absence of paid promotions might also reduce the pervasive commercialization of social media. Platforms would no longer prioritize profit-driven amplification, potentially curbing the spread of clickbait and low-quality content designed to game the system. Instead, communities could thrive around shared values and organic connections, fostering a more genuine sense of online interaction. However, this shift could also challenge businesses and creators who depend on targeted ads for growth, pushing them to rethink their strategies and invest in building deeper, trust-based relationships with their audiences. On the other hand, such a model might expose certain limitations. Without the financial backing of promoted content, smaller creators or emerging businesses could struggle to compete with established influencers or entities that already have large followings. Discoverability might hinge heavily on existing networks and word of mouth, making it harder for newcomers to break through. Additionally, platforms themselves could face financial strain, as advertising revenue forms a significant portion of their income. This might lead to alternative monetization models, such as subscription fees or increased reliance on user data for indirect revenue streams. Ultimately, a social media ecosystem driven solely by organic content would likely foster a more transparent and community-oriented environment. However, it would also demand significant adaptation from both users and platforms. The balance between authenticity and accessibility would become paramount, challenging the very foundations of how we interact and connect in the digital age.